Okay, we are hitting the road again. Got one of these not carpool confessions. We are on part 6 for those of you who speak Spanish of the home buying series, especially those who never bought a home before. Today we're going to be talking about actually going out and doing stuff. So now hopefully you've secured the bag, aka the loan. Like I said before, a lot of the loan, the mortgage companies, lenders, whatever, even if you have a realtor, they're going to be like, hey, have you signed anything? Because they want you to get with their realtor because they want to protect the loan, because they're afraid that you'll get with a realtor who's going to try to put you with another lender or something like that. They want to protect that loan. Plus, they've been able to figure out how they can double dip. The realtor, of course, wants to keep that. And let's be honest, they're going to try to put you with their lender because their lender is doing stuff for them and everybody is trying to watch each other's back. That's why we talked about all these motivations and everything. And with those motivations, I'm going to be just upfront. If you're looking to buy a house here in the Vegas area, hey, I'm raising my hand. Reach out to me over here. A QR code should be popping up. You can call, text, email. Click on that if you're on the TV, because I know it's going to be hard for you to click. And you can reach out to me. My name's Eric. I'm here in the Vegas area, and I help folks. And if you're even not in the Vegas area, I know folks all over the country, especially my military brothers and sisters, and I can get you helped out. Now let's get to the meat of what we're talking about today, and that is searching for a home, because that is the meat of it. So one of the things you're going to be thinking about is, how do I search? You're probably going to end up, on the big ones. You're going to end up on Trulia, Zillow, Realtor.com, Homes.com, all these big ones, right? Then the realtor's going, hey, I got something for you. Have my website. Okay. They all do the same thing. Only difference is the PhDs who put them together, who got all of the NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, to tickle all those little things in your brain to make you feel good. Of course, Zillow does it best. It's the most known. It's the one you're probably going to go to. And the entire reason that your realtor wants to put you on their website, remember the motivations we talked about? It's the motivation. In case you don't notice, I'm in a different vehicle. My car went boom again, even with a new transmission. Fortunately, somebody went like, oh, I have a car I can lend you. That's why I'm in a different car. Thank you. So when you're going out and you're looking on the internet, which most of you are going to look on the internet, even if you're going to look for a new home, they're trying to get you into their system, because what the realtor fears is that you're going to go and see those other realtors on the side, or you're going to click on the home and the home says, hey, would you like to see this home today? Those realtors are paying for you to click there so they can call you. So the realtors want to keep you away from that, just like the lenders want to put you with their realtors to protect themselves. So if you want to do Zillow and everything else, you be you, okay? Now, when you're searching, you're going to be going out. Hopefully you've done the right thing and you've gotten that loan or your pre-approval. This is one that no one does, and it actually causes the majority, believe it or not, of homes that fail out. If you go to the car dealership, what's the first thing they ask? Which is, the dumb thing we hate that they ask. How much do you want to pay per month? They don't ask you how much you want to spend for a car. They ask you your monthly payment. Well, when you go out shopping for a house, they ask you how much you want to spend on the house, right? Notice that? That pre-approval is for an amount. Let's call it, for the days, less than $500,000. They base that on a number, but that number may not be comfortable for you. You will notice that the lender is never going to put that down there, what that payment's going to be. You need to figure that out first, then figure that out in your budget if that's going to be comfortable for you. And you should shop from there for your house. Now, you're actually out there shopping. You've chosen a realtor, raising a hand here. You got your loan, you're working with a realtor, and you're out searching. Let's just keep it 100. 9 times out of 10, you're going to be sending the kind of homes you want to, see to that real estate agent, right? How are you going to be doing that? You're going to be spending your Sundays, your Saturdays, your lunch hours, whatever, looking at homes and paring that down. Well, what's the first thing you need to do? What kind of home do you want? Do you want that condo? Do you want that townhome? Do you want that single family? How many bedrooms? And you really need to think that through, because sometimes people don't, and they don't think it within the range, or they're thinking outside of the range. I mean, this is one that just gets a lot of realtors. People move from an area and they're like, oh, I want to A big yard. Okay, what's a big yard? You need to be able to define that. I want 4 bedrooms. Well, why do you need 4 bedrooms? Well, did you really need 3 bedrooms and a loft? Because a house could have 3 bedrooms and a loft, and the reason you want the other bedroom is because you wanted an office. Guess what? A loft is an office. So you may be mis-searching because you're looking for that, or that den could be an office. So think that through. Why are you using it? How long do you actually plan to be in there, and then probably add, maybe 50% to it. So this is my starter home. Okay, I'm gonna rent it out afterwards. Well, you're gonna rent it out? Is it a good rental? Okay, how much are rentals in the area? Is it gonna be able to cover your actual cost of buying the home? I've seen people want to become, landlords, and they'll do this whole thing, and they want to get an FHA loan, and they're going to do the whole thing of, I'll just move out in a year. No, the legal way, and rent it out. Well, great. At 3.5% current interest rates, you're going to be paying per month. Something to think about. I've seen this one where somebody, legitimately got a VA loan. Remember, nothing down. They were not a disabled veteran, so they had to pay the funding fee. And then that person had to go in and got a job someplace else, and they had to go moving, and then they turned it into a rental because there was nothing down. They bought at the top of the interest rates and all of this stuff. They were paying a few $100 a month for somebody else to live there. You got to look at all these things. Now you've done this, and we're searching. What kind of neighborhoods do you want to be in? Best thing you do is figure out where you actually want to live. This whole thing about, just anywhere. Now, I'm going to put this down to the Vegas area. Do you want to be in Las Vegas, North Las Vegas, Henderson? Is there a reason why? Is it because you want the prestige of being in a Summerlin? You don't want to be in North Las Vegas because you've heard bad things. Well, guess what? There's a lot of great areas in North Las Vegas, and you may be missing out on something. So in Las Vegas, there are areas that people may not want. In North Las Vegas, there's some stigma, especially people who may have moved away years ago. They're coming back, so I don't want to be in North Town. Oh, haven't you been up to Aliante yet? Haven't you been up to the newer areas up by the VA hospital? Those places are like really, really, really nice. So you got to figure that stuff out and figure out the cost differences, and also where your stress is, because you may say, hey, I want to live in Summerlin. Okay, you live in a nice area in Summerlin, and that house is $800,000. Your budget's $5,000. Remember we started there? That same house may be $455,000 in North Las Vegas for the same house in a nice neighborhood. If you have never been here before, especially if you're moving here, PCSing in, something like that, your first weekend or your first few days, you should actually get in the car and put some miles on it and drive around and get a feel of the neighborhoods. I'm serious. It's going to be the best thing you've ever done. And one of the things you'll find out, especially here in the Las Vegas area, we have a lot of boom bust areas, especially if you're just looking at pictures of houses and your head's down and you're trying to get to the place, you're on Google Maps, you're trying to get there, you're not paying attention. You'll drive into a nice neighborhood, you're looking at the neighborhood and it's like, oh man, this is so nice. And you're driving to the next neighborhood because you're seeing 5-6 houses that day. You didn't notice that you're driving through a not nice neighborhood. I remember it was probably about a year and 3 months ago, I listed a place and, the seller was going, you need to make sure that nobody comes here through this neighborhood here. They need to come to see the house through this area. I can't make a buyer come through the ritzy areas to get to the house instead of through the not ritzy areas. Okay, I'm gonna put in the MLS. Make sure you don't go through this depressed area here on the east side. Come from the west side so you see all the glitzy houses. You can't do that. Would you as a buyer appreciate that? You came every time through the ritzy neighborhood, and then after you bought the house, realized to the west, a quarter of a mile are the not ritzy areas? No, you may not appreciate that. You want to see it all. So that's one of the things to think about. Next one. This one is going to blow your mind away. And I was actually out with somebody this week, and they actually got it. And I don't know, they're viewers. They come from YouTube, and they kind of got it, because I've talked about this before. You can only see so many houses in a day. I'll get people come and they'll go, oh, I'm only here for 3 days and I have to see everything. It's like, no, you shouldn't do that. And the reason is everything starts to meld together. The most houses in general that you should see is 6. I'm serious. In general, the most houses you should see while you're out looking for a house is 6 at a time. After that 6, you will not remember one single house that you saw that day. It's like pure science. I'm gonna tell a story. I had a lady, now she lived here, and she just wanted to see everything in one day. I was like, this isn't gonna work for you. Okay. So we go and see all these houses. At the end of the day, she goes, can we go back to see this house, and this house? I'm like, well, why do you want to go back and see this house, and this house? She was there and she was like all sheepish and everything. She goes, I don't remember a single house we saw today. You need to listen. You only can see 6 houses max in a day, or you will absolutely forget everything that you saw that day. Now, I said there was an exception. Here's the exception. That exception is if the houses are in extreme close proximity. When I say extreme close, I mean like, let's say you had 3 houses in the same community. That really counts as 1 or 2 houses. You get it? But if you have to drive out of that community, you have to drive to the other side of town, you have to drive 20 minutes away, that resets your clock for that 6 max. In reality, it should be about 5, okay? After that, you start to lose it. So I just wanted to make sure you understood that. Now you're going like, wait a minute, I can't just see 6 houses and buy a house. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is you can only see 6 at a time. Now, after the 6, you start to realize, oh, okay, now that I'm seeing what the houses are like, I kind of see what I really like. Well, I said I didn't, mind between condos and townhomes and single families. I really wanted single stories, but you know what? I don't mind the 2-story. By the time you see that first set of 6 houses, you're going like, oh yeah, I don't want a condo. You know what? Between townhomes and single families, I can do those too. Then by the second time you go out, that's where it starts making the difference. And then you also start seeing the next part. And this is the one I want to talk about. That's so important. Pictures lie. When I say pictures lie, I mean they lie like a dog. We have entered a new era. The last time I talked about this, last video I did was years ago. I got to do another one to show people stuff. Back in the day, you could do Photoshop. You make stuff look good. You can go at different angles and you could do stuff. And that's what the photographers and realtors would do and make the picture or make the house look a little bit different. Well, now we have AI and we got Nano Banana and Chat GPT imaging and all this stuff. Without doing much of anything, you can make it look spectacular. So you're there going like, oh, guess what? When you go into the house, you're going like, what's this? This isn't the house I saw on Zillow. Well, that happens more often than you think. After you see the first set, you start to see the trends of what they're doing. Now, fortunately, most agents kind of don't know this stuff. Actually, I'm teaching a class a week from now on how to do this stuff. It's starting to become more and more rampant. That AI slop thing. So you're gonna have to watch for that. But when you go out and you see that first set of houses, it tunes you in a little bit more to the sides of town. It tunes you into the drive if you haven't driven around already, especially if you just come into town for a few days. It tunes you into the tricks that the photographers and the realtors are playing. That second time, you're tuned in. I guarantee you by that third time, if you go out for the third time, usually by the second time, you're tuned in. Third time, if you go out, if you're making offers, you know what you want. You didn't forget anything. You know what you want. You're dialed in to your realtor. You dialed in to your loan. And that kind of like ties it up. So hopefully this helps you guys out. I really want to help you guys out. If you're moving to the Vegas area, call, text, email. You see this right here. If you're on television, I know about 60% of you are. You can just click that with your phone, reach out to me. Got a whole bunch of stuff for you that you can download. Promise you, I'm not going to bother you or anything like that. I'm not one of these pesky people. I'm here to give you like the news and everything. If you're moving someplace else, I know some great realtors. If you're a veteran, military, I have a huge veteran military network. And of course, all of my military brothers and sisters. You know what I'm gonna say next, you know the drill. Alpha Mike Foxtrot, everyone else, you know that we love you. We're gonna keep them lights on for you. And according to YouTube, this next video that's popping up, they say this is the one that you are gonna really love. Or don't forget to go back to watch videos 1 through 5 and the parts that you really need. And it's gonna really tie this together and you're gonna learn so much about real estate. I'm gonna see you on the next one. Nuke is out.